Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, that's Jack.
I am Jack over here.
And today we're going to do one that's north of the border. Like I ate this when I was younger. I didn't know it was a thing until I saw Hannah Hart do it on My Drunk Kitchen. I learned it from watching you, man. I didn't know this was an actual thing. This is a Canadian thing apparently. It's poutine. It's basically just French fries with gravy on it. So this is going to be a real short, real simple recipe, but I'm going to show you how to get it done. A lot of people have asked us how to do fries. Right? So we're going to do that, and then we're going to show you how to do the quick gravy mix stuff, go in it, and make it into that Canadian dish. Let's try this. Super simple. Potatoes. Now, I only ended up using one of these giant-ass Texas potatoes that I got.
They're huge spuds.
They're ginormous. Like, you can use a lot of smaller ones. Depends on the size you want your fries, man. But I'm just going to do one of the big ones. Now you're going to need gravy packet. Now, we got the country white gravy stuff, which is fine. You mix it up, and you're good. You're going to need water for the gravy and stuff, and then you're going to need oil to fry the potatoes. It's super simple. So, first things first, wash your spuds.
Yep.
Always wash the potatoes. Always wash your fruit and vegetables. You don't really know what's in them. And if they grow in dirt, so you want this clean. Now, get you a nice knife. Now, this one came out of my X-Wing knife set my mother gave me. And it's one-piece metal, so it won't break when you're stabbing somebody and hit a bone or whatever.
All right, Michael Myers, chill out.
Hey, man, you getting my Halloween on this potato. Who are you to judge? You got Jason Voorhees machete you used to cut up taters yesterday.
Yeah, true enough.
All right. So I just went ahead and cut these long ways here. Like now, in Texas, you can pull these apart, right? And that's a steak fry. I don't know why it calls it a steak fry. It's not made out of meat. It's not like a chicken fry.
I don't know where it came from either.
But that's what they call it. I prefer mine, the long, skinny ones. So just go ahead and cut them long ways, then lay them down and cut them long ways again.
These are the potato steaks for your brother.
All right. There, done. All right, that's all you need. And you take that, boom. Fry that, it's fried. It's the super long ones like you get out of the McDonald's steak, right? That always stick out the top. So we get those, everything's done. Now, over to the grease. Now, we got a big frying pan. A lot of people were talking that our other skillet was too small, so we lucked out, found this one, seasoned it up. Now, we will do a video on how to season cast iron soon because you can get them for cheap. You just have to fix them if they're a little rusty.
We'll see that video eventually.
So, you're going to use 1.5 cups to 2 cups of this oil. Depends on the size of your skillet. You want enough to where they're not just sitting on the bottom, where they're floating a little bit. But you want a little depth, so you just go ahead and put those in there. Let it get hot till it gets those medium high. Because again, you don't want it to where it'll splatter. You want it to where it'll slightly bubble. You can always test it by putting a piece in there. Starts to bubble a little bit, go ahead and put them in there. Now be careful when you're putting these in there. This hot oil and it will splash on you. I fried half of my thumb doing this the other day. Just got too close to splash and they got me. And just put them all in here. If you don't just pile them up, you fit a lot more in.
Yeah.
A few times for organization is good. In the kitchen, I think. I guess that's how that works. So just go ahead and let those fry. Now, once you get this vigorous bubble, be very, very careful. This stuff is bad hot. Now, use a flat spatula or something to move. Where'd my spatula go?
It's probably the sink.
Aha! Spatula. Now, be careful.
Don't move your
this is a cast iron handle. Don't just grab the damn thing.
I made that mistake with the nippos.
Regular
It is hot.
skillet will have a plastic handle on it or something. Use your spare hand. Now flip these over. Be careful. You'll start to see where they're starting to brown, where they're sitting on the bottom. You want the whole thing to start looking like that. So be sure to turn them, rotate them around, and you kind of see where they're browning. Here you go. I'll flip one over. Aha! Kind of brown on that side. That's where it's sitting directly on the heat. You want to go ahead and flip around. So while that's cooking, I'm going to go tell you this little story here. Now, anybody that's from Santa Fe, Texas, down there in that surrounding areas where I grew up, you're going to be familiar with this if you're older than maybe, 20 or so, I guess. We used to always go down, you'd be broke. It's Friday night, Saturday night, you've been out partying, shooting pool down in Alvin, down at Big Daddy's, right? And then you'd come back to town and you need to sober up or get something to eat, but you've been broke because you've been spending all your money shooting pool. So you go down to the Busy Bee Cafe, man. It's right there on the corner. Yeah, and it's gone now. It's been bulldozed and there's a gas station there. But you go in there and you could get like fries and gravy. I usually got the brown stuff because I'm weird. But you can get it for like $2 and sit in there and eat and BS with everybody and get your glass of tea, right? And hang out or whatever. And that's where I originally saw this recipe and tried it, ate it there like constantly all through high school and in college and stuff. And I didn't know it was a thing until I saw it online, man. Hannah Hart, Harto, she's awesome. And she's way better at these stories in the middle of her videos. So check her stuff out if you need to find out what's going on there. If you want to watch any of that stuff, that'd be cool. Let's get back to it. So this has been cooking for a little bit. But once that starts, let's go ahead and do your gravy stuff. So it calls for half a cup of water. Now this is just the stuff on the instructions. It's nothing special. We're just walking you through what it's supposed to look like while you're doing it. Because a lot of people are like, yeah, it's got instructions, but I don't know if it's supposed to work or how it's supposed to work, what it looks like. So we're showing you how to do it.
Again.
So just take the white gravy stuff, mix it into the half cup
Cold water.
cold water. It's got to be cold water for some reason. I don't understand why. And then talk about whisking. I don't understand. But while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and put this up now. We went ahead and put it on high once I get it started.
Yeah.
Where's a lighter? Give
need-
me a lighter.
We need a new stove.
Gas
Help us out, guys.
So once we get this, come on, light.
An undeterminable amount of time later.
Movie magic. Got it. Right. So I put it about medium until we get the water in it. We want it to boil, and you want it to do it fast because you're cooking on the background. So you put a cup and a half in there, and then I turn it up to where it's high, so it starts boiling a little bit.
Yep.
Right. While it's doing that, whisk, which means just take a fork and do it in small circles. Now this was really fine, so it blended real fast, real easy. So it didn't take forever. Now you can start to see where everything in the fries is starting to brown. While you're waiting on the water, keep your eye on the fries. Eye on the fries, man.
Golden fries.
Keep your eye on the fries. I like that. I'm putting it on a t-shirt. So, put it on your secret weapon, that paper towel with the paper plate. Better than any George Foreman. And then just put them on there. Now, like I said, that is one potato worth. So, like I said, it's not a big deal if you have not enough to fill the thing or too much. Go ahead and do 2 of them. Get a light boil here. We'll go ahead and just boil the gravy slow through there because it boils up real fast like that. Scrape the residue off the bottom, whatever didn't get mixed in there, and slowly turn it. Now, once you get that done, go ahead and turn the heat off. All right, and stir it until it starts to thicken. Once it starts thickening, now be careful, you got hot oil between you and there. Just cover it, remove it from heat, and that's it. Now, remember, once these are pulled out, they're still hot, so you need to salt them then, and the salt will stick to the grease helps, right?
Yep.
So I use kosher salt, and just to explain it to you, you use seasoned salt on the other side.
That's how you get seasoned fries, folks.
Yeah, that's the trick to seasoned fries. It's just seasoned salt. You put it on there, you're done. So that was like $3 maybe worth of stuff. This is drunk food left over that is outstanding. This, like, a lot of people eat it. Like I said, I want to claim it for Texas because that's just what we do. But I'm pretty sure it's
Who the heck
Poutine
puts
up in
gravy
Canada.
on fries?
Yeah, Santa Fe. So there you have it, food from my hometown of Santa Fe, Texas, down on the Gulf Coast, or from Canada. Depends on who you talk to. I'll argue with the Canadians every day. They're way too nice. So we'll see you next time. You can find us here on YouTube Tuesdays and Fridays, or you can find us on Instagram at Living Between, or Facebook at Living Between the Paychecks Kitchen there. You can also find us over on Patreon if you want to help us out. We very much appreciate it. Shout out to all our Patreons now. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.